Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd. It is 6:18 right now. Market's gonna open in about 12 minutes. So happy New Year's, guys. Today's the first official trading day of the 2023 year. So we're probably gonna see some unusual movement when price starts to move around. If you guys have been following US30, you guys have seen that it kind of spiked around pre-market and during Asia session a little bit. It was slow, then it picked up, then it spiked around, which is normal because people are just re-entering the market as well. So just give me a few moments to finish setting this up and then we'll get started shortly. It looks like it'll be bullish today though. I'll get my full analysis in a bit. So I just got to finish updating everything here. A few more things right here and we should be good to go. All right, let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, solid. So, all right, as people make their way in, we'll get a few moments, and then once people are in the room, we'll start with our analysis of US30 for this morning. Let me just get this posted over here as well. All right, looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So happy New Year's to you guys. Today's the first official trading day of 2023. So we'll see how the market moves. One thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that this is NFP as well. So for one, it's the first trading week of 2023. It's NFP, and you're just going to see a lot of unusual movement in price. It's typical for start of the year. Some people are going to be buying the dip, some people are going to be selling the dip. So we'll see. It started to recover here on open though. It's been a little bullish, but we'll see if we can hold. Just get a few more moments for people to continue to make their way in, and we will start off with our analysis shortly. Hey, Kenny, morning. Morning, Fernando. Morning, Christy. Morning, everybody. Happy New Year's. All right. So let's take a look at the higher time frames real quick so that we can take a look at the possible breakout 2.0. I'll put the requirements over here for the breakout 2.0 right on this screen. Right there. Hey, Patricia. Morning. Morning, Karen. Morning, everybody. So here are the requirements for the breakout 2.0. First, you want to confirm the overall trend on the 10-minute, 30-minute, and 1 hour. So looking over here on the 1 hour, it's currently bullish, and you guys can see it's bullish because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. We have the same thing over here on the 30-minute. Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. Here on the 10-minute, it's not as clear because price is in between the pivots and the trend meter is blue. However, if you look at this from where price was moving prior, you can see that it's been pretty bullish for the last couple hours or so. So basically from London session up until now, price kind of retraced pretty heavy, but then prior to that, price was pretty much bullish, right? So we can assume that overall direction of trend is bullish. With that said, we could possibly look for a buy here, right? Because first you want to look for the overall trend, and then you want to make sure that momentum is going that direction. You can see that since majority of the timeframes here are bullish, you can assume that the 10-minute here is also bullish. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you want to confirm the direction of momentum here. We have a buy signal right here. So odds of this trade going bullish is more likely than not. So on open over here, you guys can possibly take this. If you guys attended the mentoring session yesterday, I mentioned that, you know, if it's not a for sure entry, then I'm probably not going to take it. This right here is not a for sure entry in my eyes, because I can see here that it's, you know, it's a bit iffy since the 10-minute here isn't really confirmed that it's very bullish. It shows that it is bullish if you're going to assume, because it was bullish prior and then the other timeframes are bullish, but it doesn't necessarily show a strong bullish bias, right? It's not like super bullish here. Like if this was looking like how it did over here, then all right, I'll for sure take the trade. But over here, you can see that price is in between the pivots, and the trend meter down below is also blue, right? So with that said, I don't really have a strong conviction here that this is going to go up. I mean, I do think it'll go up, but I don't really feel super confident, especially with it being the first trading day of the year. So what I'll do here is I'll mark it up for you guys, but I don't think I'm going to personally take it myself. The only next thing that we have to look at is whether we want to go for 1,000 pip TP stop loss or 1,500 pip TP stop loss. This right here. So if you look at the range here, this is the range, right? This is also a little bit iffy because, I mean, 1,500 looks more ideal, but depending on where you're marking up the range, you know, 1,000 might be a little better. So we'll see. And then if this right here closes with the sell signal, because you can see there's a pending sell signal right here, then there's not going to be an entry at all, right? Because the overall bias is bullish here. So with everything bullish, you need a buy signal here. If this closes with the sell signal, then you can't take the buy here, because you need to trade in the direction of momentum. So we'll see where this candle closes in the next 4 minutes or so. But as I mentioned, I don't think I'm going to be taking this trade here because it's not a very confident trade that I feel comfortable taking. I only want to take trades that I'm like for sure are going to hit, and this one right here is not a for sure trade for me. So I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. You know, you guys got to keep in mind we still have a whole week ahead of us, so you don't have to force anything today specifically. So we'll see how this here opens. But if this here closes with the sell signal, then it's for sure going to be invalidated and there's not going to be an entry for us to take. I'll mark it up for a sell, but that's going to be the breakout 2.0 without trend, but I'm not going to be taking it. For one, it's going to be for sure not going to be good because it's going to be against the trend. And then for two, it's going to be momentum in the other direction. So you typically don't want to trade against a strong trend. Trend here isn't super strong, but it is strong enough to withstand, you know, a 30 in the 1 hour over here. So we'll see, but it doesn't look like it's going to close how we anticipated it to, because this here is now going to close with a sell signal. We'll see what happens in the next 2 minutes, but if that does close, no breakout for you guys here. Looking over here on the shorter time frames, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, you guys can see here that it's actually bearish. So you can see that the higher time frames bullish, lower time frames bearish. So if this is the case and this continues to drop lower, then we'll more likely than not go for the sells here instead. I added the volume indicator down here to the bottom, guys. It's not really necessary, but what I started to notice is if you guys see an entry here, so for example, if you see momentum signal in the direction of trend, so earlier it was bullish, right? If you see a buy signal here or buy signal right here, and the volume is above average, you can see that the volume here is above the moving average on the volume tab, then this typically is a good entry because you have enough volume there to take the buy. So if you took an entry there, full TP, right? So I'm just using this volume indicator right here just as a confirmation, like an extra confirmation. It's not really necessary, but I've been using it. I've been playing around with it. And whenever like the momentum signal is lined up with increased volume here, it typically will continue to push, in that direction. So I'll use this here, and if it continues to be a good use for us, then we'll start to incorporate it into our entries here. So we'll see. The more confluences, the better. It's not a requirement, but it's just another confluence. If it looks good, volume's high, then odds of our trade that we're taking here will likely be a good one to take. So I'll just leave that on there for now. Hey, Maria, morning. Yeah, happy New Year's. Morning, Seren. All right, guys, it looks like majority of you guys are here already. So market is going to open in about 30 seconds. Looking over here on the 10-minute, again, as I mentioned, the breakout here is not going to close as we anticipated because the overall trend here was bullish, but we have a sell signal here. So the entry for this is actually going to be a sell if you want to take the breakout 2.0 without trend. Not one that I would necessarily recommend taking, but if you guys wanted to take it, I'll mark it up here. Just a reminder, I'm not taking this trade, guys. So you guys can take it at your own risk if you like, but not specifically looking to take it myself. I think if you're taking the sell here, I'd probably take a smaller TP stop loss because it's looks like it's going to be a quicker move this way. So I'm not in this position, guys, just FYI, not in this position at all. I'm just following it right here. This is a breakout 2.0 without the trend. So if you guys are in this position, I do recommend moving your stop loss in profit at this point. You guys can see price kind of move down a bit. It's halfway to TP there. But it's a bit risky because it's going against the trend here. So if you guys are in this position, I do recommend moving your stop loss in profit. If you guys are happy with your profits at this moment, go ahead and pull it out. But it's up to you guys, handle it how you guys like. But if you do move your stop loss in profit, at least you're guaranteeing profit at this point and not assuming too much risk. So, all right. Yeah. Happy New Year's, Rashida. Happy New Year's, Seren. All right, guys. So market is now open. You can see prices bouncing around. In order for us to have an entry here on the shorter time frames, we're going to need a sell signal. So checking this out over here, guys, if you guys have remembered, the main strategies that we're applying is going to be the variation or the momentum scalp and momentum scalp variation. So just two strategies here, momentum scalp, and then also the momentum scalp variation. In order for us to take this entry here, we need to apply, or we need to confirm the overall trend, right? The overall trend here is obviously bearish on the lower time frames. As you guys can see over here, first step, confirm overall trend on the 1 minute, 10 minute, and 5 minute. So looking over here on the 10 minute, you can see that we're currently bearish. Reason for that is because price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. That's going to confirm it downwards trend here on the 10 minute. Looking over here on the 5 minute, we're looking for the same thing. You can see here that price is below the pivots, trend meters red, and the pivots are angling down. Lastly, here on the 1 minute, we're looking for the same exact thing. As you guys can see, price is below the pivots, the trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down, right? So once you confirm that the overall trend, now you want to make sure that you have momentum on all of the time frames. We have a sell momentum right here on the 10, so we can confirm that this is bearish. We have a sell momentum here on the 5. You can confirm that this is also bearish. And then lastly, in time for entry over here, we need to have a sell momentum on the 1 minute. In order for us to get a sell momentum here, we need to get a retracement signal. So we have a sell signal right here, but we need price to retrace up. So in order for us to take any entries here, we need price to push to the upside. And then once this pushes up, then we can start looking for entries. So everything's pretty much lined up here. We've confirmed the overall trend for a sell. We've confirmed momentum signal on the 1, 5, and 10 minute. Next, you just need a sell signal. Once we get that sell signal, we can take entry here for a sell. Also for the momentum scalp variation, if we get a buy signal here in retracement, we just need to confirm the correction back to the downside. So that's basically all we're looking for here, guys. We're just looking for a retracement signal. Once we get that, great. I'm not in this position right here, guys, but this is the one that we marked up here on the breakout 2.0 without trend. I typically trade it with trend, so I wouldn't have taken this trade here myself. But it's still a viable entry. So if you guys are in the position, make sure that your position is in profit. And then we're going to focus on these 1 minute timeframes. Now I'm looking for this buy signal here to come up. Once it comes up right here, then I'm going to be looking for a momentum scalp variation. So it's kind of what I'm waiting for over here as price continues to move along. So we get price pushing up right here, but you don't have a buy signal yet. Once we get that buy signal there, we can start looking for entries for a sell. But until then, we just got to wait and sit tight for this. Hey, Douglas, morning. Morning 77, morning G Font, morning Jirish. Good to see you here back. Morning, Christian. Awesome, man. Glad to see you here. All right, so we're just waiting for everything here to pretty much align. Hey, Christian, I'm going to send you the, I know I did see that you signed up right now. I don't know if you're in the group. Okay, you are here. So Christian, go to the Zoom if you're not in the Zoom already. So I'm going to tag you in this right here, Christian, in the premium group. If you just scroll up a little bit, the Zoom link is right there. So you probably want to hop onto the Zoom so you're not on the delayed feed. All right, so we have a sell signal, right? A buy signal right here. We have a possible momentum scalp variation, but this candle here is a little too big, so I don't think we can take this one here. All right, so we don't have one here yet. This candle here is just way too big, so we can't take this here. This is a momentum scalp variation because we have price swinging up. Going over the requirements here, if it closes below the pivots, we do have an entry here for a variation, but it's not one that I would take because the candle is just too big. So I'm not taking this entry here. If price does come back down, I'll take it for a late entry. I'll just have a sell stop there, just waiting for price to catch. Let's see if I get into this here. No, I'm going to wait for it. It's kind of bouncing around a little too much. So I was trying to get into this a little late, but no, I'm going to hold off on it. This candle here is just too big. So whenever you get a big candle like this, let me put up the red flags. You want to wait for it to close above and then wait for it to come back down, right? So looking over here, red flags, when to avoid trades when prices candle prior to entry is too large, which is this one right here. In order to confirm whether the candle prior to entry is too large, you just want to go over it like this when you're making entry. And if this candle here is too big, if it's bigger than your stop loss, then you definitely want to hold off and wait for it to retrace before you enter the trade. Because this is what will happen. Price will retrace, hit your stop loss, and then eventually come right back down. So I never enter trades like that. I just wait for them to come back down and then I make a late entry. But at this point, I'll just wait for it to close back below. But as I mentioned earlier, guys, you guys want to be careful because today is the first trading day of the year. So you're going to see a lot of this choppy movement. If this here closes again below it, then this could be a possible entry for a momentum scalp variation. We got about 30 seconds left on it. You can see this candle here is not as big. So if you get this here, then odds of it dropping lower are very likely. Everything here is bearish, so gotta wait for this one here to close. This candle here again is too big. So yeah, again, same situation here. You can see that the candle is bigger than the stop loss. So if price does retrace back, it'll likely hit stop loss before it comes back down and hit your TP. So I'm going to hold off on this one right here as well. Yeah, these candles are just too big. The volatility is a little high right now. You want to be careful because your stop loss is kind of tight. It's at 300 pips. So the last thing you want to do is enter a trade, and then it ends up, swinging back to the upside or swinging against you. This one looks like it's probably going to hit though. Oh yeah, and Madhu said it's right at opening price. Thanks, Madhu. I forgot to mark that up. Let me check the news too. I got to make sure if there was any news today. So let's see. Yeah, so this one blasted right through TP. This is the one that I was mentioning you guys could have taken. But you can see how risky it is, right? The volatility is very high. So you want to be very careful. Again, red flag over here. When to avoid trades when price is near opening price, which is this blue line right here. Let me check the news calendar real quick. So today's Tuesday. There's OPEC all day today. We have news at 6:45 and the news at 7. So either way, we can't take any entries around this time because it's like literally at the opening price. Thanks, Madhu. I forgot to mark that up. It's my mistake. 6:45 right here. And 7. So we've got 2 news events coming up right here. So it looks like price is just bouncing around opening price right here. There's not really too much going on. It's just a matter of time until this thing starts to move directional. But we're still in a bearish bias right now. Everything here is still bearish. 10 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish. If we get a buy signal on the 10 or the 5, then we got to start to change it up, because we need to confirm that everything here is lined up. If it's not lined up, then we can't take anything. Currently right now, it's still lined up for a sell. So unless we get a buy signal here or price shifts to the upside, then it's going to shift and we'll start looking for buys. But at the moment, we don't have anything like that to look at right now. Basically just waiting right here for something to happen. But price is really in just a big range. So if you look at the range right here, this is pretty much the high and this is the low. So there's not too much going on. The range has actually been going on for a long time. So this big range right here has pretty much been going around for the past couple hours since 3 o'clock this morning. So the range wasn't super wide until just now and open. But realistically, if you look here, you can see price has just been ranging. Not really too much direction. You can still trade in this range because this range here is pretty wide. So if you measure the range right here, price is actually moving, or it was moving about 1,400 pips. So it's a pretty big range here. You can still scalp within it. It's not a huge deal, but you want to make sure that you keep an eye out for this blue line here, this green line, this purple line, and this red line. These lines right here are going to indicate red flags. So this red line, green line, and purple line are sessions. These are previous session high lows. You can see here, this purple line is the Asia high. This green line is the New York high. And this red line right here is the London high. So you want to be careful about taking trades around those points because price gets highly manipulated around those areas. Also, you want to keep away from the opening price, this blue line right here. This is where market opened. And news price, which is coming up right here at 6:45 and 7. So just want to be careful with a lot of these entries, guys. It's not really the day to take anything that's unnecessarily risky. You have a whole week ahead of you guys. You don't want to force anything today. The last thing you want to do is dig yourself a hole and then have to climb out of it this whole week. So this is fine how price is pushing up right here. Let's take a look at the other time frames. We currently have a buy signal here on the 5 and a buy signal here on the 10. If this happens to be the shift, and this is perfectly fine, we're just going to start shifting from a sell to now a buy, which is perfectly fine. We're scalping, so it's not a big deal. We don't have to get stuck to one trend. You can see here that this is starting to be bullish. Price is above the pivots now. Trend meter is now green. Pivots are angling up. Looking here on the 5, same thing, right? We have a buy signal pending right here. Trend meter down here is green. It's pending green. And the pivots here are starting to shift. Same with here on the 10. So if we get a buy signal here, then we're going to start looking for buys. This is what our initial analysis was earlier, right? On the higher time frames. I mentioned that on the 30-minute and 1 hour was bullish. So you can see right here that these lower time frames are starting to follow. So we're just waiting for this here to close with a buy signal. If this becomes the case, then our bias is going to shift from bearish to bias, which is perfectly fine. It's going to shift a lot today and this week in general. And then we have news coming up right here at 6:45. 6:45, we have final manufacturing PMI. It's low impact, but it's going to affect the market, of course, especially being the first news event for this year. So this 10-minute candle here has about 7 minutes left. So we got a lot of time until this here closes. And the 5-minute here has about 2 minutes left on it. So we still got a lot of time on that candle as well. Back over here on the 1 minute. Nothing here yet. AT, how's it going? Morning. Let's see, Madhu said possible high-level momentum pivot scalp on the 10-minute if the signal closes. Looks like it may cut into the sessions though. Yeah, it's getting really close to the sessions right here, guys. So we'll see where this ends up going, but just gotta wait. So we'll come back to this in the next, minute or two. For the 5-minute, we have to make sure this here actually closes. If this here closes, then this might be a shift to the upside, but there's no confirmation of it yet. Just gotta wait. There's just nothing for us to take right now. Let me check the Forex pairs as well. So you guys can see all this crazy movement that happened overnight because the market is finally open for the new year. Market was slightly open yesterday, but it wasn't really moving smooth at all. So I didn't call any of these Forex trades. We have a pending sell right here for UJ. Maddie, are you here? Let's see where Maddie's at. Maddie's not here right now. So we got a possible entry here for UJ. This is like way too far out though. My cap stop loss for this, these entries on the Forex is 50 pips. So I think this is too tight. I'm not gonna be able to take this trade here. But we do have a pending sell here that's coming up for UJ for the signals. It's just too big of a move though. We don't want to enter if volume is like way too high. So back to US30 over here, guys. You guys can see it kind of let off some steam right here. Price pushed up, then it's retracing back down. We don't have an overall trend right now. So for the first requirement, you need to confirm the overall trend, right? We can't confirm the overall trend right now because looking over here on the 5, this is neutral. You can see prices in between the pivots. Trend meter is blue. Same with the 10-minute over here. Prices in between the pivots and the trend meter is blue. This buy signal here never closed. So there's no confirmation of a shift in trend yet. So technically, we're still looking at a sell here, but there's no confirmation that, you know, it's a sell or a buy right now. Pending signal on the 1, pending signal on the 5. The 5 here didn't close. So see how crazy the market's moving right now, guys? This is what I was warning about on open. You're going to see a lot of this unusual movement here in the market because this is the first day of market open. So it's best to just sit tight and wait for the market to really play itself out. We have the news candle right here. You can see it's low impact, but it's still affecting the market pretty heavy, right? Huge candle right here on news. Yeah, this candle's like 1,000 pips. So I wouldn't really necessarily put too much weight on the color of the folder. If there's US news, then you for sure just want to sit it out, even if it's light impact. Because you can see here, this is light impact, right? But this isn't light impact movement. This is a huge movement right here. This candle right here, the news candle, was about a 1,120 pip move. So this is a huge move right here for a single candle, right? You don't want to mess with this here. So here we go. As price starts to move down further, if this is the case, then this might just be a correction back to the downside, right? Let's check that 10-minute, see if it's still running. This one is not running, but you can see how choppy it was. So I'm glad we didn't take the breakout 2.0 today because you guys can see how crazy it moved today. Came down pretty heavy, came up pretty heavy, and came right back down. Lots of uncertainty in the market. This here would actually be a momentum scalp, but you guys can see how big of the candle it is. You for sure would not take this entry right here, even though it would have hit straight to TP. Would not have taken that right there, right? You can see that this one went straight to TP. The reason why this is a momentum scalp is because you want to confirm you're trading the direction of overall trend. We never confirm the bullish trend, right? So this was still bearish. This right here would be the momentum signal that we're looking for. So we had a sell momentum on the 10, sell momentum on the 5. And then this sell momentum right here on the 1 would have been the entry candle. So if this candle here wasn't a huge candle, then we would have taken this for a sell, applying the momentum scalp strategy. But as I mentioned, this candle here is way too big. Whenever you get a candle that's too big, bigger than the stop loss, you typically want to skip it. Even though this here would have been a super risky trade to take. It didn't pull back at all. It went straight to TP and it's still dropping there further. So, but the other red flags here. So for one, the candle prior entry is too large. Also, it's cutting through opening price, plus it's cutting through news price. So there's just 3 red flags here. Wouldn't have taken the trade at all. But you can see here that it still would have hit its TP if you were to take it. Just want to be careful during these conditions, guys. So this now has corrected back down for a downtrend. So we're looking for sells here. 10 minutes still bearish, 5 minutes still bearish, 1 minute still bearish, but it's kind of crazy right now. It's moving. So you just want to make sure that you don't hop into anything that's overly risky. Specifically on a day like this. All right, so price is below the sessions right here. Not really too much for us to take right here. Now we're looking for another retracement. So now that price has dropped below here, we're looking for price to retrace back up with a buy signal. Once we get that, we can start looking for possible variations or momentum scalps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I know a lot of you guys here are new. So if there's anything here that you guys are confused with or anything that you want me to explain, just go ahead and drop, your questions in the chat. Price is dropping down right now, so we don't have a retracement. I do have my alert set up. So once we do get that retracement signal, I can go back and take a look. But at the moment, we don't really have anything to take right now. There's nothing here for Forex. We have this one that's pending, but as I mentioned, I'm not going to take this trade here because the candle's too big. Typically, the stop loss needs to be at the swing high, but the swing high here is, it's like 100 pips. So definitely not one that I'm going to take here for USD JPY. USD CHF, nothing there. USD CAD. There was a buy entry right here, but again, this candle is too large. So as I mentioned, my cap is 50 pips. If you would have taken this trade here, this would have been a full TP, but it's way past my cap. So if you took this here, there's a buy signal. Everything here is bullish. Confirm the buy here. Would have taken that full TP. This also happened at like midnight, so it's not one that I would have taken because I would have been asleep at that time. NZD USD. Nothing coming for there. So once this starts to stabilize throughout the week, guys, we'll start to have Forex trades again. But right now, you guys can see all the markets are pretty choppy all over the place. It's just a lot of craziness happening. Let's see. CT said he took the SR rejection at 645 based on the 10-minute. Nice. Yeah, so CT over here mentioned that he took the entry over here at 645. This harder rejection right here. 645. I'm assuming it was. There's like a zone here that keeps disappearing, but it looks like CT took this one right here. Yeah, there's a zone that keeps disappearing. It's right here. Solid, yeah. So CT caught the rejection off this one of these candles right here, and then he just took that ride to the downside. I'm assuming like 500 pips or so, right? Yeah, so as you guys can see, there's other strategies that you guys can apply. I don't go over all of them, though. I'm only focusing on 2 strategies, or 3 if you include the breakout 2.0. But this is one that CT identified. He was applying the SR rejection. I don't apply this one as much. I mean, it works good, but I'm trying to keep this strategy or strategies here on the live session to the same ones every single day. But it wasn't this one. It was the SR rejection. I got too many strategies here. I have about like 20 strategies here that you guys can learn if you guys want to learn them. But yeah, I can't even remember what the thing is right here. Oh, there we go. So yeah, CT took this one here for SR rejection. This is on the 1 minute, but he applied it on the 10, which was pretty solid. Looks like it went straight to TP. So yeah, if you guys want to learn these other strategies, just a reminder, during these live sessions, I'm only applying the breakout 2.0. If and when it happens, it doesn't happen every day, but if it does happen, I'll be taking this breakout 2.0. And then I'm also going to be applying these 2 strategies right here, momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp. Basically just these 2 strategies plus the breakout 2.0 during every live session. So there's no confusion. So you guys won't see me posting random profits like, you won't be confused about what strategy I'm applying, because I'm only going to be applying these 2 right here, these 2 and this one on some days. CT applied a different strategy, but that's because I have like 20 strategies here that you guys can apply. If you guys want access to the other strategies, just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access here, and then it'll take you to this page where you can unlock access to either the free course or the paid course. But you don't really need much. If you just want consistency, just focus on these strategies right here, because this is all I'm going to be focusing on during every live session for this year. Just to show you guys, the consistency. If you guys just stick to 1 or 2 strategies, you're not going to have as many entries, but they're going to be quality entries when they do appear. Let's see. CT said it was a bit risky with size of candle and opening, but other confluence with momentum in 10 minutes heavy. Yeah, I agree with you, CT. Definitely. Once you confirm the overall trend, guys, you guys can take pretty much, any trade in the direction of the trend as long as you have some sort of edge in the market. Our edge here is the momentum signal. So that's the main thing here to look for. All right, so looking over here on the 10, everything's bearish. 10 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish, back on the 1 minute over here, this is bearish. In order for us to take an entry, we need to get a buy signal. So I need price to retrace up. Price right here is already dropping for a bit. You don't want to chase this drop here because price is due for retracement, right? At some point, price is going to retrace up. Once it retraces up, as it comes back down, that's where we make our entry. So price has been dropping for a while right here. We're going to wait for it to retrace. And then once it retraces and then comes back down, this is where we're going to make our entry and go straight to our TP. So that's pretty much the setup that we're looking for here. We're just looking for this to come back down or come back up and then come back down. Once we have that, then we'll be good. So price has been dropping, looking for that retracement and continuation. Once we get that continuation to the downside, that's where we'll be looking to make our entry. But as of now, we don't have anything right now to look at. Everything is pretty much just going sideways. All right. So once we have that retracement to the upside, we can start looking for entries. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys are all ready to go this year. If there's any confusion with any of these strategies here, just let me know so I can clarify. Otherwise, I still hold weekly group mentoring sessions. So every Monday at 2 p.m., I have a group mentoring session you guys can sit in on. It's available to everyone here in the premium, and it's also available to anyone here in the public group as well on YouTube. Just keep in mind that YouTube's a little delayed. It's delayed about 30 seconds. So it's not going to be exactly on point. Yeah, no problem, Christian. Christian said he's going to go and review the course. Yeah, definitely, Christian. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, when you're ready. So I'd recommend you go over the entire course first. And then once you're ready, hit me up for a one-on-one mentoring session. And then we'll pretty much clean up all of the things that you need help with. But yeah, Christian, if you want to go start with the course, feel free. Otherwise, we'll be here waiting for any entries to come up. Just don't have anything yet. I'm hoping we'll get at least one entry today. Yeah, no problem, Christian. I'm hoping we get at least one entry today, but if we don't get an entry, I'm not going to force anything. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's better not to force any trades and just wait for the entry to come to you. That's basically what we're doing here. We're just fishing for this entry. We can enter for a sell at any moment here, but we're waiting for the retracement to happen. And then once that retracement happens, we'll be looking for our entry back down. The only problem here is that there's a couple of red flags. We have the Asia low right here. So this is going to be one of the red flags here for us to avoid. And then we have the London high over here. So we just got a lot of areas here we possibly want to avoid. Laura is asking, we're waiting for either momentum or variation right now, right? We're waiting for a retracement signal, Laura. So in order for us to get any of these entries for momentum scalp or momentum scalp variation, like for any of these strategies, we need a retracement, right? So let me go over the requirements again right here. Let's go over the requirements so that you guys can understand what we're looking for here. So the first step, you want to confirm the overall trend, right? We have a bearish trend already. Everything's bearish here on the 1, bearish here on the 5, bearish here on the 10. So once we've confirmed that, we can move on to step 2. So for the momentum scalp variation, we've already confirmed step 1. Now for step 2, you want to confirm retracement momentum signal. So in order for us to get that, we need to get a buy signal here. Once we get a buy signal in the direction of opposite of trend, that's going to confirm the retracement. So right now we're looking for that buy signal. Once we get that buy signal, we can move on to step 3. But until we get there, we got to wait for this to confirm. So we need the retracement signal here on the step 2 for momentum scalp variation. For the momentum scalp over here, we've already confirmed the trend. So step 1's confirmed. Step 2, confirm momentum on the 10-minute, which we have right here. We have a sell signal. And then for step 3, you want to confirm momentum on the 5-minute. We have a sell signal right here as well, right? So right here for the momentum scalp, we've confirmed step 1, step 2, step 3. Now for step 4, we need to confirm a momentum on the 1-minute time frame. In order for us to get a sell signal here on the 1, we need to get a buy signal, right? Because if you look over here at these momentum signals, after you get a sell signal, you get a buy signal. Once you get a buy signal, you get a sell signal. It's opposite of each other. So right now we have a sell signal. In order for us to get another sell signal, we need to get a buy signal that pushes to the upside. So what we're really waiting for here is a buy signal. The buy signal is gonna double up as a retracement confirmation. So we're just waiting for price to retrace. Price is way overextended right now. As you guys can see, price is pushed down 3,660 pips. So close to 4,000 pip drop right here. We're looking for the retracement. You don't want to chase this down here. And you also want to be careful when price is near the sessions right here, because this is an area of manipulation. And then we also have news coming up right here on this red line. So main thing we're looking for right here is a momentum signal for a buy. It's going to confirm retracement. Once we have that, we can start looking for entries for both the momentum scalp variation and then also the momentum scalp. So it's a step-by-step process. You know, every time I trade, guys, I trade very mechanical. I don't really look for any outliers. I look for everything here to line up. Once everything lines up, then we can take entry. But at the moment, we don't have anything at the moment. We just got to wait for this to confirm. We have price pushing up right here. This is going to be the news candle. I'm kind of glad it closed near the sessions right here so we can keep it below. So here we go with another news candle right there. The news event that's coming up right now is going to be the construction spending. Let's go over here to my FX book. I want to see if there's any other news here that we're missing. And then there's news at 8:30, but we won't be trading at 8:30, so that's fine. All right, basically all the news has been covered for today. We just need that retracement signal here. All right, so we got a pending buy signal right here. This is what we've been looking for. Once we've confirmed that, we can move on to step 3 right here. We just need to make sure that price closes past it, which it looks like it will. And then once we skip past that, we're going to look for step 4, waiting for price to close back below the pivots. So still waiting for this retracement signal to close. Once it closes, then great, we can look for entry. But at the moment, you know, we're just pretty much waiting for this buy signal to close up. All right, so there goes that buy signal again. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle. So Nasdaq's bearish right now. S&P is very bearish right now as well. All right, so it looks like we did get the buy signal right there. So now we will be confirming the retracement here. And then next we're looking for price to close below here for the variation. So if this here closes below the pivots, this will be an entry for a momentum scalp variation. So we need this candle here to close below. If it closes as a red candle below the pivots right here, this green pivot, then this will be a momentum scalp variation. Otherwise, if we get a sell signal, it'll be a momentum scalp entry. It's got 20 seconds left on this candle here. You got to actually wait for the candle to close, right? You don't want to enter early, guys. Make sure that you wait for the candle to actually close. If it closes last minute, then just skip it. Wait for the next one because there's going to be other entries coming. We got 10 seconds left on this candle right here. 5 seconds left. Does not look like it's going to close. And it doesn't close. Perfectly fine. Thanks, Kenny. Looks like Kenny here sent me a link. Let's see what this link is for. All right, so Kenny sent me a Facebook Live. Looks like, okay, Congress is in session. Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, so we'll see how this affects the market, but it's going to be going on for a while, so I'm not really going to put too much weight on that. Anyways, we're looking for price to either close below the pivots here, guys, for momentum scalp variation. So looking back at the requirements here, guys, we confirm the overall trend is bearish, right? That's step one. Step two, we confirm retracement momentum signal on the 1 minute, which is going to be right here. This buy signal right here is the retracement signal. Looking at step three right here, confirm price closes past the pivots in retracement on the 1 minute. You can see how that price retraced up, right? And it's closed past the pivots. So we've moved on from step three to now step four. Step four, you need to confirm that price closes past the pivots in correction of overall trend. Since we're in a bearish trend right now, we need this candle here to close below the pivots. Once it closes, that's going to be the entry for the momentum scalp variation. If we get a sell signal here, then this is going to be a regular momentum scalp. Typically, these entries here will either overlap or they'll happen on the same candle. So you'll have this one happen first, and then this one happen right after, or sometimes they'll both happen on the same candle. So we're just looking for either price to close below here or a sell signal. This candle has about like 4 seconds left on it. It's the very last second, so I'm not going to be taking it, and it didn't close. So what we're looking for basically here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. What we're looking for here is we are looking for a red candle to close below this green line right here. Once it closes below, then you can catch that for a sell here using the momentum scalp variation. So it's a pretty simple concept. I mean, the concept here is basically just looking for retracement and then catching a continuation in the direction of your trade. So we have another one possibly coming up here. You guys can see how slow the volatility is though. So it's not looking like a really good trade here. You don't want to trade when the volatility is too low, because then you're going to get caught in some whipsaws or price is just going to go sideways before hitting your TP. So still no red candle right there, closing below the pivots. If price continues to inch up higher, we're going to get close to the sessions right here. So this is going to be a red flag. All right, we got about a minute left on this candle. So as you guys can see right here, price rejected directly off this pink purple line, right? This is why we don't trade around sessions. So one of the red flags here, when to avoid trades is when price is near sessions, is because if you took a sell right here, you would have gone screwed because price rejected directly off this purple line, which is the H low. So we don't trade around these purple lines, these pink lines, these red lines, these blue lines, or these green or purple lines up here. It's always going to be a red flag for us. This is going to be a possible entry for a momentum scalp variation. As I mentioned, you guys got to make sure that this candle here actually closes. And you got to make sure that the candle is not too big. So we got this here pending right now. Candle is closing in about a second. And it is now closed. So there goes a momentum scalp variation right there. If you guys took it, I wasn't able to get into it yet because I was waiting for it to actually close. If this here retraces a little bit, I'm going to get it as it comes back down. So I was waiting for it to close. Whenever you guys take these entries here, you have to wait for it to actually close, right? So at the last second here, price was kind of bouncing around. I was trying to enter it right away, but this here I was kind of iffy because I wasn't sure if it was going to close above it or below it. So if this here closes right here, I'm going to make a late entry and I'm just going to catch it as it comes back lower. So I'm not in this position yet. I'm still waiting for it to come back down. This is what I was talking about earlier today. It's just super iffy how the market's moving because you're going to get a lot of this back and forth movement. Also, the volatility here is very low. So you're not going to get a price push right down to your TP. Typically, if the momentum scalp variation here doesn't close properly, I'll just wait because typically we'll get a momentum scalp right after it. So if we get a sell signal after this here, it's going to follow right after the momentum scalp variation. So you guys can see here that it's not very clear. Typically, when it's super clear, it's going to be easy to take because this will close like way down here. But it didn't actually close like super far down. It was on the line. So if I go back and replay to this candle right here, you guys can see how it closed, right? Whenever it's like this and it's really close to the green line, I just wait for it. If it's really clear, like something like this over here, like this here wasn't even clear either. This was on open. but you're going to get a lot of this back and forth movement right here on open. So I'm just going to be waiting for this to come back down. Looks like it's retracing back up right here. If I get a sell signal, then I'll take the sell signal for the momentum scalp, but the variation here is just, it's too choppy at the moment. So going back to the red flags here, things that you want to avoid when price is ranging as well, because this here is just going sideways. You don't want to be trading when price is going sideways like this, because price is just preparing for a breakout. It's either going to break out to the upside or it's going to break out to the downside. Last thing you want to do is enter a trade, and then it's going to spike opposite of you before it ends up hitting. So just got to be patient, waiting for this next one to come up. So price isn't really doing too much here. It's still going back and forth. Let me clean this up a little bit. It's kind of messy. So what I'm waiting for here now is I'm either waiting for it to close pretty clear, or I'm waiting for it to provide a sell signal. If one or the other, either it closes down below here, where we don't have to worry about the close, and it confirms that this is a momentum scalp variation, or I'm looking for a sell signal to confirm the momentum scalp. Goran's asking, hey, Kodi, such a crazy day. Haha. What are the reasons why? There's a lot of reasons. So today's the first official trading day of the year. Also, it's NFP week. Also, there's news today. Also, there's just a lot of people getting in and out of the markets. Today's considered the Monday. So you're just not, it's going to be like this pretty much all week for the most part. It's going to be very choppy, or there's just not going to be very much direction. Okay, so if this here closes, this candle here is too big. Yeah, I don't know if I could even take this trade here. For the momentum scalp variation, it's a pretty clean entry, but the problem with this here is that the candle might be a little too big. So I'm going to wait for this here to close. If it closes properly, then no, it's too close to the pivot right there. So this is the same thing that happened with this entry over here. This is why I didn't take this one over here, because it's too close to the line. I want it to close below, but I also don't want it to be too big of a candle. But there's not really much going on here. If you guys like zoom out a little bit, it's just a range right here. It's not doing much at all. So price is pretty much just ranging back and forth. This here is a nice candle. If this closes like this would be good, but you just want to make sure that the candle is not too big. That's going to conflict with like your entry type here, because if the candle is not too big, it's not going to be a clean entry. But then also if the candle is too big, it's going to hit your red flag here. So let's see if this here closes. Even if it closes though, it's going to be a bit of a risky entry, because obviously candle's too big. All right, we got 14 seconds left on this candle right here. This will technically be a momentum scalp variation, but you can see here that it's not really closing below the pivots again. It's similar to this entry right here. It's just too close. You can see the yellow line right there. Okay, so this would have been an entry, but again, I missed it. It would have hit TP2. Yeah, because it's too close to this pivot here. That's why I don't want to enter it right away. You want it to be like pretty clear. I mean, it looks like it's gonna hit TP. If this does hit TP, I'll just take the next one here, and it did hit TP right there. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. I haven't caught any trades yet today, because all these trades here are super iffy. If this here closes with the sell signal though, then I will take this one as a regular momentum scalp entry, if it's not too big. And of course, as soon as I say that it's too big, damn. So I don't know if anyone caught this momentum scalp variation, but this momentum scalp right here, if it closes as a sell signal, this is going to be an entry, but the candle here is just too big if it closes too far below. All right, so we got a pending sell signal right here. If this here doesn't close as a huge candle like this one, then possibly entry here for momentum scalp. But I don't know, we'll have to wait for this to close. It's not really a smooth market at all. It's kind of going back and forth a lot of ranging, a lot of back and forth movement. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle right here. So we got a couple people here who posted profits. Let's see. So we got Deswell over here posted his profits, locking a total profit of 7,357 for the day. Nice work, Deswell. Looking at this pending sell signal here, guys, we got about 20 seconds left on it. If it closes with the sell signal, then I'll take this here for a sell. If not, then I just got to wait. If the candle's too big, I also got to wait for that too. There's just a lot of things here, a lot of factors that are factoring in. Make sure that you actually wait for the candle to close though, because you can see here it's disappearing. So you got to make sure that it actually closes before entry there. Yeah. Couldn't get in. I was waiting for it to close and I missed the entry point. I'm going to wait for it if it retraces a little bit and I'll hop in later. I'm being really cautious today, guys, because today is just not really the day to take any of these risky trades. I mean, they're all been kind of risky. This candle here is kind of big, but it's not big enough. It's actually a good entry. But I didn't enter right away because I was waiting for it to close. At the last couple of seconds here, the signal is disappearing and reappearing. I don't like entries like that because I hate when I enter a trade and then the candle disappears or the signal disappears and then I'm stuck in this trade here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll put a sell stop and I'll catch it as it comes back down. But I actually want this to come up a little bit and close. Once it closes up here, I'll put a sell stop as it comes down and hits. Then that's going to be my entry. It's just going to automatically fill my order. So let me go over here and update this real quick. Let's see. All right, my entry filled. Let's see if it drops lower. Let me put an alert there. I gotta know when it closes because the choppy movement's like throwing me off. Oh, no, I don't know it's in the hand. If this hits my stop loss, it's all good. But I'm hoping it comes down. I tried to make that late entry as it filled in, but this market right now is just super choppy. We already anticipated this, so it's okay. I was very selective about my entries today. This one right here, I was a little bit selective of. I waited for it to kind of pull back a little bit, and I was going to wait for entry, but if this hits my stop loss, it's all good. Still in. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I entered this one late too. So I waited for it to come back down. It like triggered it and then it just pulled back. But I'm still in it right now. But it's all good. First day of the year, we were expecting this choppy movement. If this here closes like this could be a confirmation of a V1. It's a reversal pattern, double body. So if it does close like this, it'll probably continue back down and then hit our TP, hopefully. It's the plan there. But we're looking for a double body here. If this here closes with a double body, it's going to be a V1 pattern. It's a reversal pattern. So price like we're traced up, V1, and then likely if it coming down or is more probable than not. So we got that pattern right there, still in the position. So this is looking all right. Looks like it might be coming back down. But whatever happens, happens, right? I'm not going to really be attached to this position too much. You guys can see how this is like why I don't like trading during a range, because when you get in a trade when price is ranging like this, you get like no movement. I'd rather know right away if I hit my TP or my stop loss rather than having to wait for it to go sideways, especially on the 1 minute chart, because this is like a very, very slow movement here. Price is ranging right here sideways. So I'm going to watch it and I'll see where it goes. But this is just, it's not the type of market I want to trade in. I like to know right away if I'm right or if I'm wrong. And this here is just very, very sideways movement as price continues to just move with the direction. So one thing that I started to notice, full TP. All right, guys, great. If you guys took the trade with me, full TP right there. If not, it's okay. As I mentioned, it's a risky time to trade right now. It's not the best time to trade. But if you guys took it, full TP on that trade. All right, guys, let me just take a screenshot of this, post it in the group. So our first trade of this year, official trade, full TP. not bad. I was expecting a loss, but it hit my TP, so it is what it is. But you know, you can't really get emotional about these trades. Like we entered this trade knowing the risk of this type of entry, especially on a day like this, but thankfully it did hit. So momentum scalp, not variation, just regular momentum scalp. Full TP right there. Yeah, I know. Justin said so close to stop loss. I know it was super, super close. So I was kind of worried it was going to hit it, but I was like, whatever, if it hits it, then what it is what it is, right? Because we already knew the market was going to be choppy today. Plus we entered when price was ranging. So if you guys took it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's okay. Don't worry, you got a whole week ahead of you. So that was just, you know, is normal entry. So that's going to be what we're going to be focusing on. We're focusing on mainly just these two strategies here, guys. Momentum scalp variation, momentum scalp. If you guys made profit on it, feel free to post your profits and then I'll add them to the list. I mean, this is a good day to be added to the list of profits because it's the first trading day of the year. But again, as I mentioned, we're only applying two strategies here: momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp. So Deswell over here again. Yeah, Deswell over here, total profit of 7,357 for the day. Nice work, Deswell. He took his own trades here, pre-market, and it looks like he took the breakout right there, breakout 2.0. He made 1,248, and then he just took the other trade as well. Yeah, not bad at all. Here we go. As price continues to drop lower. Now we just got to wait for the retracement again. Just got to need this to retrace up, and then as it comes back down, that's where we'll make our other entry. It's a matter of patience, guys. If you guys can be patient and wait for these entries to come up, you should have no problem locking in profits. Looking over here, Patrick, he said got in late on the last trade when it was sweating you, Sean, but he caught it down for a short variation. Nice. Yeah, so he caught the V1 over there as price continued to drop down lower, locked in a total profit of 3,715 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Here, as you guys can see, Patrick has all wins and no losses for the day. Great work, Patrick. All right, solid work right there. Deswell over here, he had one more profit. Now he's up 9,173 for the day. Great work, Deswell. Eunice said, sometimes I have issues with my psychology. I remove stop loss when it moves against my trade. I don't know how to avoid this. Yeah, I think what you have to do, Eunice, is once you enter the trade, you just got to close your, or you got to like get away from whatever your platform is. You could even close your MT4. Like as long as you have your TP and stop loss set, just close your MT4 and then you should be good. So you don't have to worry about it. Cameron over here, he locked in a total profit of 3,045 for the day. Nice work, Cameron. Some good entries right there. Let's see. Will over here. And what happened? Well, Will said he took the first one and I lost 1,200. Wait, how'd you fail on this one, Will? Because you were winning like every day. Or you must have been taking your own trades then, right? Because you were doing good for like, I mean, you've been showing me your profits for like the past couple of days. You've been having straight wins. So I'm assuming you over leveraged, or I don't know, you took your own trades, and I'm guessing. Because if you lost 1,200, you shouldn't have been able to, I mean, you should have been able to withstand the loss, right? Damn, dude. Yeah, because Will said the first one I took and it was close to stop loss, so I moved my stop loss. That's why I'm down. Yeah, no, I mean, it happens. Well, that's the same issue that Eunice just said right here. Eunice said sometimes he has issues with his psychology and he removes his stop loss. That's like one of the things that really blows everyone's accounts, right? Sometimes you guys just got to eat the loss, right? Like from me, for example, I took the trade right there and I was worried that it was going to stop me out. I was like, okay, if I get stopped out, then whatever. You just have to like remove your emotional attachment to the trade, because it did get close to stop loss. Like it got really close actually. And I was like, fuck, it's going to hit my stop loss. And I just let it play out. And then it played out to TP right here. So yeah, because the markets, it's super choppy. If you guys took the other entry over here as well, I mean, it literally just came. See, like these entries here were super risky because it was so close to the pivots. So I wasn't sure if it was going to close or not. So I didn't even take the trade. But yeah, if your entry here was like, on the dot, it would have hit your stop loss. But if you would have waited a little bit, I mean, it still would hit your stop loss, right? If it came down right here. So sometimes you just got to eat the loss. Like same here with Zach. Zach said he lost the first one, but he's won the following two, and then now he's almost at break even. So you just got to eat the loss, guys. Like whenever you have your stop loss set, just leave it alone. Because even if you eat a loss, you could have had that loss there and then have two wins right here, like Zach did, and Zach's now basically almost at break even. So in the future, guys, never move your stop loss. Once you have your stop loss set, if you're getting close to your stop loss, just take the loss. Survive to trade another day. That's like the saying a lot of people mention. When you start to play with your stop loss, that's how you start to blow accounts, because you're going to start to lose more than you're allowed to. And I mean, it's unfortunate. So it's all good, Will. I know it sucks, but it happens. It happens to a lot of people. It's not just you. So you should get your mindset back on point. And then once you're back on point, then give it another run. Or what I recommend is probably just do a trial account. Well, because it seems like your trade psychology is still not there yet. So I'd recommend doing a trial account, pass the trial maybe once or twice. I know it's going to suck because you're going to pass the trial and you're going to wish it was a real account. But I would recommend doing the trial first and then get you to that mindset that you need so that when you do the actual challenge again, you won't be moving your stop loss and you won't be making mistakes. But it's all good. I mean, everyone has that issue. You're not the only one. All right, some more profits over here. Awesome. So Jack over here said, hello, consistency report. He showed his profits right here. Total profit of 5,360 for the day, all wins and no losses. Nice work, Jack. So it looks like a lot of you guys here actually did really well. Oi over here as well. So Oi traded Forex overnight, locked in a total profit of 13,302. Nice work, Oi. I know you just started too. So if you guys sat in on the mentoring session with Oi yesterday, Oi like literally just started, and then he played around with Forex last night, locked in some pretty good profit. Yeah, not bad, Oi. I mean, it looks like you're a natural right at this point. I didn't think you'd do so well on your first day. I think this is your trial account, right? So if this is your trial account, make sure to be aware of like your drawdown risk. I think you're fine though, because looking at your lot sizes here, if you're on a 200K account, I think you should be okay. So you're good. Some more profits here from Wesley. Wesley locked in a total profit of 1,332 for the day. Nice work, Wesley. He took the sell that we just took not too long ago. And then we have Sean over here as well. So Nico over here locked in a total profit of 586 euros. Nice work, Nico. And then his other account over here locked in a total profit, same thing, 562 euros. This is another account. And then this one over here, 586 euros. And then we have Sean over here. Sean locked in a total profit of 1,296. Nice work, Sean. All wins, no losses. Took an EJ trade last night, US30 pre-market, and a couple other trades right here. So nice way to kick off the year, Sean. Total profit of 1,296 for the day. Yeah, so good profits by everybody here so far to kick off the trading year. Kevin over here as well. Kevin's currently that's crazy. Made a crazy amount of profit on this. I don't know if this is like just from today or from like the month, but it says 46K for the day, 46,422. Each trade over here, he locked in about 1,000. I mean, if this is the case, you took like 50 trades a day, if that's the case, because it's a lot of, like, I mean, if each counts to making about like 100, 200, 500, a couple of thousand, you might have taken like 40 or 50 trades today. I mean, either way, nice work, Kevin. Congrats. I just made a little bit today. I made one trade, so I'm up like 1,000. So I'm not on that level as everyone else, but it's all good. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still locking in a lot of profits. Robin over here as well. Took the sell from not too long ago. Total profit of 69 for the day. Nice work, Robin. Yeah, it's a good start. just got to stay consistent with it. Once you stay consistent, it's going to add up. And then from there, you can keep scaling your account. There's no entries for us to take right now, guys. Price is like literally at our red flags. It's at the news price and it's at the sessions. Also, price is ranging. So there's nothing for us to take right now. Price is going sideways plus the red flags that I mentioned. It's like literally on the dot. So we're not missing anything, guys. Don't worry about that. Damn. Yeah. So this is what Kevin locked in today. 46K. That's crazy. Rashida over here. So Rashida said she lost some momentum variation in the scalp, but she got in right after for profit. Nice. So nice recovery right here, Rashida. She took a couple trades here. Unfortunately, she got caught in that first variation. The market was just too choppy, so it stopped her out. But then as soon as the sell signal came up, she hopped right back in, and then she just doubled her way back up. So total profit of 540 for the day. Nice recovery on this, Rashida. Solid work right there. And great work on like identifying the entry right after, because if you would have missed it, you would have just had a loss. But good thing you hopped in right away when I mentioned it, and then you locked in some profit for the day. So some profit's better than no profit. But now looking at where price is currently at, I don't think we're going to have any more entries for today, guys. Price is just going sideways right here. Volatility is very low. The one thing that I was going to discuss today was my use of the volume indicator, right? So this over here was a little risky, but if we had the volume indicator right here, if the volume was high, like above average, and we had a sell signal, then odds of it hitting right away would be very likely. So like looking over here at, there's not going to be much of an example here because this is the first trading day of the year, but I'll continue to show you this as the year progresses. So like say, for example, right here, I just want to show you this one right here, right? We have a sell signal right here, and you can see from the volume's higher than this blue line right here, right? So it's above average. With the volume above average plus momentum here providing an entry, plus the trend is in a downtrend. If you were to see something like this is why I added this as a confluence. So we have a downwards trend. We have the volume indicator right here indicating that there's a huge volume. We have the momentum signal right here. If you were to take this for a sell, and for this one, the cool thing about this is that you can do this for like a 1-to-1. So it's not really a negative restore, it's a 1-to-1. Once you have that set up like that, you let the trade run, and you can see that the volume follows, right? So that's why I started using this as another confluence, another one right there, right? If you were to see this right here, you can see that price is bearish. I mean, it's on a red flag, so we wouldn't have taken it, but you can see here that price is bearish. And volume here is above average. If you would have seen that right there, you would have taken this entry there again. Same thing. Do it for a 101, 280 pips. Full TP again right there. And then another one right here. They're like back to back. So I started to notice this last night. So I was like, okay, this is a cool tool to just add as a confluence, because when the volume is actually high, you're not going to get caught in this trade. Again, sell signal, right? Price is bearish, trend meter is red, volume is above average. You take this again for a sell position. Stop loss right here, 101, 1616. You let the trade run. Full TP again right there. So 3 back-to-back full TPs. This would have been 1-to-1, so you'd have made a lot of profit off these trades here. This is one that I'm using just as a confluence. It's not necessary. If it becomes useful, I'll just be able to incorporate this indicator into our strategies here as another confluence. The more confluences, the better. Not necessarily more requirements, but more confluences are better. So it's good to have confluences, not requirements. You want to have as little requirements as possible, but you want confluences to really confirm your entry. So let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, Will said, yeah, for sure. It's so frustrating. How much should I risk? 3% is too much. Yeah, 3% is way too much, Will. I only risk 1.5% per trade. The thing is, if you're risking 1.5, you'll have a way better opportunity of, slowly passing your challenge rather than, blowing it right away. So I personally only risk 1.5%. 3% is on the very high side. So you should be risking between 1 and 3, but I only risk 1.5 per trade. Yeah, exactly. Justin, thanks for your response there too. Justin said 1.5 will. Patrick said, at least for me, if I move stop loss, it generally finds a new stop loss anyways. Yeah, no, I see that too, Patrick. No, it's crazy. There's some people who trade without a stop loss, which is it blows my mind, but it works for them. So if it works for you, I mean, do what works for you. But I wouldn't recommend doing that unless like you really know what you're doing. Wes is asking, what's the name of the volume indicator? The volume indicator is just built into to TradingView. If you just type in volume right here, it's gonna be one of the technicals. It's like this one here, just says volume. So it's one of the built-in indicators. It's not a custom one. If you go over here, just go to your settings and then turn on your moving average. It's not going to have a moving average there. You just turn that on right there. And then if you match this with the momentum signals, odds of it hitting are very likely because you're going to have enough push to reach your TP. So that's one that you guys can use. Yeah, Eunice, it's just the built-in one. So it's one that's built into, so if you just go here at technicals and you search volume, it's going to be like it just says volume. There's nothing before or after it. If you look at oscillator, this is different, and the VWAP is different too. I don't use the VWAP too much. But yeah, this just shows you like the volume. I think you might need YM to play with it though, guys. So I think if you use it on US30, let me see. I don't think it works the same way. Actually, it's still there too. It just isn't as accurate because you don't have like the raw data. But I mean, it still works. Yeah, because you have a sell entry right here. So it still works, but you can see here on YM, it's a little more accurate because you have the actual raw data from the exchange. All right, so let's see if there's anything else here. So let's see Narith over here. Narith's currently up 7,072 for the day. Nice work, Narith. Huge profits right there. So Narith here is up 7,072 for the day, all wins and no losses. It's Cameron's dad, if you guys are wondering. So you guys are both killing it. Right here, Anelli said didn't get in late, get in at a late entry like some of you guys. Unfortunately, stop loss got hit. It's all good, Anelli. So this is Anelli's first loss in a while. You had a pretty good run so far, Anelli. So it's all good. The good thing is that you recovered on this one. So it looks like you got stopped out on the variation, the one that happened before the momentum scalp, and then you take the momentum scalp after for a full TP. So it's all good. It happens. But that's good accountability right here. So I'm glad that you're showing me your losses too and not just your wins, because this will keep you accountable moving forward. So it's all good, Nelly. You bounced back from it. At least you were able to offset the losses there. So other than that, guys, there's nothing for us to take right here. I'm still looking for entries, but there's nothing for us to take. As you guys can see, price is kind of just going back and forth. It's going in a range right here. I mean, the range here is just getting confirmed as price continues to move back and forth. So this is the range right here. There's not really much going on. This price continues to move along. Rashid is asking, hey, Sean, what volume indicator is that? If you go to indicators right here, just go to technicals, type in volume. It's going to be the one that just says volume. It's under the built-in indicators. So it's this one right here. If it's very useful, guys, then I'll probably incorporate it into one of the indicators, or I'll just create my own, where it's just easier. Because I know here it's kind of, I mean, it's not horrible, but I feel like it could be done better. So I can probably find a way to make it better. Maybe even incorporate it with the momentum signals here. So what I could probably do is have my brother. Oh, is my brother here? There's Justin at. So, yeah, my brother's here. So Justin, you see this indicator? See if you can make something like this where you can incorporate it where we only get a sell signal or buy signal if it's like above average volume. Because if you can get that, then I think that's going to be super useful, because it's going to just, we're going to have less momentum signals, but all momentum signals are going to be like, for sure. Like, for example, this one right here, right? This is a big sell signal and it's above average. And if we would have taken this here for a 1-to-1, it's like 1,720 pips. The trade would still be running, but I think eventually it'd probably hit. I mean, this trade would be a little too big though. Actually, no, I take that back. It would already hit TP right there. So Justin, if you can do that, Just incorporate the volume indicator. It's a technical one right here. It's just built in. Because if we could get that, we just, incorporate that with the trend. I think that'd be easier. So we don't have to actually look at every single momentum signal here. We'll probably miss some trades, but if we do see them, this would be a good one-to-one. Anyways, we had a question over here from Mohammed. Mohammed's asking if I can take a look at gold. Yeah, sure. So looking over here at gold, let me take a look. This is the short-term gold. So looking at gold short-term, you can see here that it's currently bearish on the 10, it's bearish on the 5, and it's bearish here on the 1. So with gold dropping like this is probably going to continue dropping lower. Looking at gold over here in the higher time frames, gold's actually bullish. So depending on how you're trading it, Mohammed, I mean, if you're trading it long-term for swing trades or intraday trades, then price is still bullish. So this might be just a short-term pullback, and then price may bounce off the pivots and continue to push up higher. So, I mean, depending on what type of analysis you're doing, long-term here, it looks like gold will be bouncing off the pivots at some point, possibly, and then correcting back up. The only reason I'm thinking that is because it's very bullish on the 4-hour and 8-hour. So it's bullish here, it's bullish here, it's bullish here, right? So here on the 1 hour, this is the only candle that's actually dropping. So this is the shortest time frame here. If you're looking on the long-term perspective, like say, for example, gold moving forward, right? I think this is going to be bullish. But if you're looking for it right here on the daily, just for, the days for scalping and quick trading, then it's currently bearish right now. There's no confirmation yet though, but it looks like it is going to continue bearish. So here on the shorter time frames, what you would be looking for here is retracement. So maximizing this right here, you can see our price is getting near the sessions down here. Price will likely come down, test the sessions, and then bounce up from there. Once it bounces up, you're going to look for the correction back to the downside. And that's where you can make your entry. Because right now price is pretty much, it's just going sideways. So gold, there's no confirmation yet of direction. Short term looks bearish, but long term looks bullish. So you want to be careful about taking these types of entries here because you're not really sure where price is likely to go. Price will probably retrace up and then come back down lower. If it comes down lower like this is where you would want to make your entry. You can apply the same strategy we're applying for US30 here as well. So, I mean, pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna check the volume indicator. Yeah, this volume indicator is really useful. With identifying above average volume. So yeah, for example, here you had a buy signal here. Actually, not that one. Not that one either. Yeah, so for example, right here, if you had a buy signal here and price was bullish. So see how we would have a buy signal right here, or where was it at? Right here. My same strategy that works for US30 works for pretty much anything. So like, for example, right here, you have a buy signal. Price is above average with volume. You could take this here for a long position right there. Let the trade run, full TP, right? So the same thing I just showed you guys for US30, it works for pretty much anything. All my strategies are based off momentum, guys. So whatever you guys want to trade, whether it be Forex, US30, NASDAQ, S&P, gold, any of this stuff, it works perfectly fine. It's just a matter of applying the same strategies across the board. But yeah, looking over here at gold, it's still bearish, but you're looking for this to play out. My markup right here, you're looking for this to retrace up and then come back down. Once it comes back down, you can take the entry for a sell. But there's just nothing there right now. Looking over here on the higher time frames, though, this might just swing back up. I'm curious if this works well in the higher time frames too. Because I haven't really tried it myself. I've only tried it on the scalping. Yeah, there's no volume on Forex, unfortunately, or on the higher time frames over here. Actually, let me check. Yeah, the volume indicator doesn't work for Forex, so you wouldn't be able to apply. Maybe on the shorter time frames. No, it doesn't work. So that's something that I could probably get working on that if I create my own indicator, but it doesn't look like it works on everything. So same strategies work on them, but the indicators that we use for US30 and a couple other assets, they don't work specifically on everything, like the volume indicator. Anyways, back to US30 over here, guys. There's no entries for us to take. We did have the retracement right here, and then there's a price that came right back down right here, but it was right at the session, so you couldn't take this for a variation. Variation still possibly available here if price does close below the pivots, but it's getting close to 8 o'clock, so not really looking like any type of entries will be available. If there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to get any more entries for today. My cutoff is 8 o'clock for trading. It's 7:45 right now, so we have about 15 minutes until then. The reason why I don't see us having any entries here is because looking here on the 5, we now have a buy signal, right? I didn't even know that this was here, but I had an idea. I was like, okay, I think the 5-minute probably provided a buy signal here. And looking at it now, it does have a buy signal. So in order for us to have an entry, we need everything here to have a sell signal, right? So in order for us to get that, we need this here to close, and we have about 15 minutes till 8 o'clock. So I'm not expecting us to get another sell signal here from now until 8 o'clock. That's why I'm not really expecting any other entries to come up. So yeah, if you guys have any other things you want me to look at, feel free to put in your questions in the chat. US said check US30. YM is US30. US. So if you guys are not familiar, I trade YM because this is the actual future that US30 is based off. So if you guys are new here, I know there's a lot of new people in this group. YM is just the it's what US30 is based off. So US30 copies YM's movement. YM is the actual future. US30 is just a copy of it. Typically, a lot of brokers here just copy the data. So if you look here, all the movement's going to be the same. Like if I was to put these charts next to each other, let's go to 2 charts right here. All right, so if you look at US30 right here, and you put it side by side with YM, it's doing the same exact thing, right? That's because US30 is a copy of YM. YM is the actual asset that US30 is based off. So I use YM because I want the fastest data since I'm scalping. I have to pay for this data. So if you want this data here, you have to actually pay for it. It's extra on top of TradingView. But the cool thing about this is that this moves faster than the other assets. So like if you enter a trade here on YM, you're probably going to get better entry on FTMO or any other broker you're using because this is the actual raw data right here. So if you're looking for US30, YM is US30. It's just faster data. And what else was I was going to say something else, but I forgot. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is that pricing is going to be different. This is like something that comes up all the time. People always mention that this is off by like 100 points, right? But realistically, US30 is the one that's off because YM here is the one that's the raw data. So we don't trade off prices anyways. It's not a big deal. We trade off movement. So if this movement here is moving in a direction, we're going to base it off this, but we're not entering off specific price points. So the pricing doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. And I think that's it. I know there's nothing else I wanted to cover other than that. But yeah, looking over here at YM US30, I'll go ahead and analyze it for you guys real quick, so that you guys can have an idea what to look for if you guys do decide to continue trading after the live session. I don't recommend you guys do, but if you guys want to, you're more than welcome. It's your account. You can do whatever you like with it. Anyways, looking here on the 10-minute, you can see that the 10-minute is currently bearish. So overall direction here is somewhat bearish. However, the 1-minute here is starting to change. So looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see that price is bearish. Reason for that is because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red and the pivots are angling down. Looking over here on the 5-minute, same thing. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red and the pivots are angling down. However, here on the 1-minute, this is where things conflict because price here is not below the pivots. The trend meter is not red, it's actually blue, and the pivots are going sideways. So it's bearish on the 10, bearish on the 5. 1 minute over here is currently neutral, but if price does come back below here, like where it was prior, then it'll be bearish. It's currently bearish long term, but right now on the shorter time frames or a shorter time direction, it's kind of going sideways. But realistically, if price continues to drop lower, so say for example, if price continues to drop below here, then we'll have a bearish downtrend, right? It's still bearish here, but it's not very strong. So it's currently bearish right now, but we'll see if this continues. For me, typically, guys, I only trade from 6:30 to 8. This is where I see volatility to be very high. You can see the volume here is starting to die down, right? So volume here is super high from 6:30, like opening candle here at 6:30, super volatile, right? Volume is super high, and then now it's just getting really, really slow. You don't want to trade in markets moving slow like this because you'll get caught in a position and you'll be holding on to that for a little too long, especially for scalping. It's not a good move to take trades when price is not really doing anything. So yeah, if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's 7:50 right now, so we have about 10 minutes till 8. I'm not expecting any other entries to come up because looking over here on the 5, we still don't have a sell signal. Until we have a sell signal, there's not going to be any entries for us to take. But you know, I'm taking the market as it comes to me, and I'm not really forcing any trades. I'm just taking trades that come to me. So I'm just waiting for the trade setups to set up. If they don't set up, which they're not going to set up today, we're probably going to wrap it up. So if there's any other profits you guys want to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, I think this might be about it. So we have a sell signal right here on the 1 minute. But as I mentioned right here at the momentum scalp strategy, you need a momentum signal on the 5 minute, right? So let me just go ahead and maximize this real quick. In order for us to have an entry for this here, we need to go over all requirements. So requirements right here. Step 1, confirm overall trend. Overall trend here is bearish, right? It's bearish neutral because this here is neutral, but everything else is bearish. So we can confirm that it's basically bearish looking at it. Step 2 over here, you want to confirm momentum on the 10 minute, which we have right here. Actually, we have an opposite signal here. So if this closes, then you can't even get past this step here. This candle has about 9 minutes left on it, so it has a lot of time, but this here needs to be a sell signal. So looking back at the requirements right here, step 1, we confirm overall downtrend. That's cool. Step 2, you want to confirm a momentum signal on the 10 minute. We need a sell signal here in order to move on to the next step. If this here closes with a buy signal, then it's going to invalidate the entry, and we got to wait for the sell signal to come up on here. It wouldn't matter because if you even got past step 2, step 3 here, you need to confirm the momentum on the 5 minute, which we don't have here as well. We have a buy signal right here, so we're not going to have any entries coming up anytime soon. We have about 10 minutes till 8 or 9 minutes actually. So if this here closes, for sure no entries coming up anytime soon. And if this here doesn't provide a sell signal, then for sure no entries here as well. So there's not really much to look at here, guys. We pretty much took our trade for the day, which is okay. It wasn't a crazy trade. It was just, you know, okay trade. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think that's pretty much it for today. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I can review anything that you guys want me to review. If there's any pairs you guys want me to look at, just go ahead and drop your pair in the chat. Otherwise, let me take a look at the Forex trades over here. I don't think there's anything for me to take so far. Patricia said, Sean, did you trade TFF today? No, I actually took it off. So I haven't traded my TFF account for the past 2 weeks because if I keep like getting like partial profits and then I end up taking a loss, it's probably going to violate the account. So I just took it off my copier. So have you traded on it, Patricia? I'm wondering, is anybody on TFF right now? Okay, gotcha. Patricia said it seems better today. If that's the case, then I'll just add it onto my copier again tomorrow. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, that's cool. It seems like they fixed their servers, you know, go figure it. It always happens. But yeah, I've had issues with them for the past 2 weeks. So I took it off my copier. I don't want to risk losing the account just yet. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a new account anyways. So if you guys have been part of the group for a while, you guys know that I have to restart all my accounts. I was talking with Maddie about this last week. It sucks because they won't change my email. So I've been getting payouts still, but if you guys have gotten a payout from FTMO or any of these other funding companies, they typically send you an email and then they send you a confirmation once the payout's been made. I don't have access to my old email, so because we changed the company name. So I never know if they actually send out my payout, and I never know when my actual payout day is because I don't have that email that gets sent over to me. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to start a brand new account and basically just start from scratch, do a new challenge with you guys. And it's gonna suck because I'm not gonna get a payout for like a month or two, but eventually, let's go back to normal. So thanks, Patricia, for the heads up. Looks like you posted your profits here. Total profit of 3,400 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, if that's the case, then I'll probably just add it onto my copier and then we'll just see where it goes from there. Christian said, done with the course. You watch all the videos, Christian? That's not possible. Christian said he watched all the videos right now in like less than an hour. Yeah. You should probably go back and rewatch it, Christian, because it's like literally impossible for you to watch every video within like 30 minutes. Yeah, if you want to start practicing, then feel free to start practicing, but I really don't think you watched all the videos yet. Just being realistic. Anyways, all right, so there's no entries here yet, guys, for any of these Forex pairs. I don't see anything for AUD USD. I don't see anything for EU. Well, if this starts to shift, I'll start looking for a sell. I'll be marking this up right here, GU, for a possible sell. This here as well, but we don't have anything coming up yet. So the Forex market here is moving pretty crazy. So as you guys can see, we're probably not going to have any entries coming up anytime soon. Maybe later tonight, if not tonight, maybe tomorrow or later this week. Main one I'll be looking for is GU over here. If this ends up coming right back down, I'll take a sell. I'll mark it up for you guys and send the signal in the group. Peter said Christian was watching the video on 25x speed. I know you must have been watching it super quickly. So here, guys, let me show you guys the course real quick. There's new videos being uploaded to the course, but there's still a lot of other things for you to look at. But I mean, yeah, if you just want to focus on a couple of things, like what I'm assuming Christian only watched like here's the course right here, guys. So this is what the course looks like. When you guys sign up to this, I have this whole section here that I haven't done yet. I don't know if I'm going to do this yet. I'm still thinking about whether I want to do it. This is just like super basic, like how to set up your trading view, how to install your MetaTrader, right? I'll probably do that eventually, but it's not important because a lot of you guys know how to do that already. The basics over here, common tools used by TradingView. If you guys just watch my live sessions, you guys can see what tools I use. And then for MetaTrader 4, I'm just going to be showing you guys the quick trade tool, but not everybody uses FTMO, so it's not really relevant. All the indicators are right here. So you watched all these videos right here, Christian. You watched all of the indicator videos, and then you watched all of the main strategies, because these videos are like, they're not necessarily short, but they're not necessarily long either. So I'm just wondering, like, if you, because that's really fast for you to watch. Like you watched like 10 videos in like 30 minutes. And then there's way more videos down here if you want to see all the TradingView tools, all the basic stuff right here as well, scalping strategies, etc. This is what the course looks like. So yeah, I mean, I can even pull up your account and see what you watched, Christian, but it's all good. I mean, if you feel ready, then go ahead and start trading, but I don't think you should rush it. Anyways. Yeah, Patrick said, I've been here for years and haven't watched all the videos. I know, right? But yeah, I mean, if you feel comfortable, Christian, then, go ahead and do whatever you feel comfortable with. But I do think you should take time to actually watch the videos and actually practice it. Well, yeah, if you're ready, then go ahead and practice. But I would practice on a trial account. Don't practice on your live account just yet, because you haven't even traded before. So I don't want you to like take your very first trade and then you blow your account on your first trade because you don't know what you're doing, right? Practice on a demo account or a trial account first before you actually take anything on your live accounts. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you already watched the videos on YouTube, which is perfectly fine. Yeah. Christian said, well, in this case, not a new trader into Forex. Yeah. But US30 is way different. So you got to make sure that you know what you're doing, Christian. Yeah. US30 is way faster compared to Forex. You can't take this trade and then hold on to it and think it's not going to go anywhere. It's probably going to hit your TP or stop loss within like the next couple of seconds or so. So you just want to make sure that you're practicing on a demo account first, or a trial account, whatever you're using. Anyways, guys, it's 8 o'clock right now. There's no other entries here available. As you guys can see, looking over here on the 10-minute time frame, there's no buy signal that came up. So you're still looking for sells here. However, here on the 5-minute, you do have a buy signal. So in order for you to take any sells, you need a sell signal to come up here. You pretty much just need everything to align. The 10-minute here is bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 1 minute over here is also bearish. However, the 1 minute here is bullish. So these here are not aligned. So you're not going to have an overall trend. Also, you need to have an alignment with regard to momentum. So you need a sell signal here, and a sell signal here. Once you have that, you can take the sell, but it's going to be cut off at 8 o'clock. So no entries for us to take right now. So unless you guys have any other questions, I think this is it for right now. Otherwise, if you guys want to continue trading, I would recommend to just sit at the market, guys. Today's not really the day to take any unnecessary risk. This is probably a day to take it easy. And then we're going to pick back up tomorrow for our normal live session. If you guys are brand new here, I have trade live every morning from Monday to Friday at 6:30 a.m. until about 8. If we don't have any trades between 6:30 and 8, I typically stay on until 8:30, but today we already have our trade, so I'm not going to force anything. So yeah, if you guys are new here, just, if you guys want to watch all of our live sessions for free, just keep in mind that the YouTube is delayed. So if you want to just watch all the live sessions for free, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and click subscribe and turn on notifications. If you guys do this here, whenever I go live, YouTube will send you an email, say, hey, Sean's going live right here. Here's a link. I go live Monday through Friday every single day. And then on some days, I'll go live 2 or 3 times a day because I do have mentoring sessions. If you guys want to go back and rewatch the mentoring session from yesterday, I have a one-on-one session here with Oy. And then I also have the mentoring session for the group right here. Anything with the green background is group mentoring session. Anything with the orange background is a one-on-one. Anything with the blue background is a live trading session. So I have like 5 years of live trading and mentoring to go back on. If you guys want to watch any of the old ones, feel free. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session as we continue on with this trading week. So yeah, if you guys have anything else to ask, feel free to email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Otherwise, if you guys email me on Telegram, this is the fastest way to get in touch with me. So I'll post everyone's profits at the end of the session. If you guys have any more profits you want to send in, feel free to post it in any group or send it to me directly, and then I will add them to the list. But it looks like everyone here did pretty good so far to kick off the trading week. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys here tomorrow, same place, same time, as we take on US30 again for Wednesday, December 4th. Otherwise, I will see you guys here in the chat, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.